Namaste and welcome to day 6 of Yoga Story Daily Dose of Yoga. Today we're going to be talking about Warrior 1 versus Warrior 2 versus High Lunge and what is being activated in these poses, what's the difference between these poses, and also encouraging you to bring awareness to what is going on in your body when you're in these poses. So let's start with Warrior 1. In our Warrior 1 pose, we have a foot forward, a foot back. The back foot is angled toward the same side, top corner of the mat, or about 45 degrees. The front knee of the front leg is above the front knee is directly above the ankle to create that stability. We're pressing down, almost imagining that we're pressing down through the center of the foot, even though we have that natural arch. We're really pressing down through the heel and ball of the foot, but to create that space of imagining pressing down through the center of the foot allows that connection, keeping the toes light. The back leg, we're drawing that back thigh back, keeping that lunge, and pressing down through the back heel, and also finding that connection of the back of the ball of the foot as well. Here, hips are not entirely square because we have a little bit of openness through that back hip, but almost square. We're engaging the abs and dropping the tailbone down. So there's a lot going on. In our Warrior 1, typically we have the arms raised, a softening of the shoulder blades, hands in prayer. Our inner thighs are working inward. So we are engaging through the adductor muscles and lengthening through the outer glutes. In our Warrior 2, we open everything up. So we're opening up through the hips, creating that space there. You also may have a wider stance to get even more length through the hips and an outer rotation of the inner thighs as we here engage the abductors, the outer thighs, and the glutes as well. So we are engaging through those areas. So when we're moving through these poses, notice what areas of the body are holding tension that maybe don't feel like they should be holding tension. Certainly we are engaging the abs. Again, we're engaging the glutes and the outer thighs. We have that strength through the front leg and through the back leg. But there are some times where we might be, if we're feeling some pain through the low back, for example, we might want to engage through the abs. So here we again have that same connection of the front heel and ball of the foot, a little bit stronger connection through the back edge of the back foot as that foot is angled about 90 degrees. Again, all depends on your specific anatomy and where you can go. Toes facing the long edge of the mat. And then generally arms are reaching out, shoulders above the hips. Our gaze is neutral or over the front fingertips. You can also bring the hands to prayer, soften the shoulders, all of that. We find some length through the sides of the body, a little lift of the ribs away from the hips to keep that nice lengthened and light position. If we're sinking too much, we might notice kind of a strain through the low back, but also almost this kind of sagging through the belly. So we want to keep that all nice and lifted, slight lift through the chest. And a little bit, even though the shoulders are working as the arms reach out long, a little bit of softness through the shoulders. And then our high crescent lunge. So our high crescent lunge, we're turning the toes forward, lifting that back heel, and we still again have that lunge through the front knee. And here I'm going to switch legs just to change things up a bit and give myself some rest on that right leg. So again, that lunge knee above the ankle to create that stability, toes always light. Here, the back foot, we're just on the ball of the foot. Toes are still relatively light. We're not pressing into the big toe, we're not pressing into any of the toes, but really pressing firmly down through the ball of the foot. Drawing again that thigh back, engaging the front quad, the back quad, and again, engaging the abs, drawing the tailbone down. So create as much space as we can through the front hip, through the front of the back hip, as we have a little bit of a flexation through the front hip. And again, here, generally the arms are reaching long. We soften through the shoulders. And you might find the hands in prayer to let the shoulders and arms relax, or just let the arms relax down. So here again, we have that inner rotation that we had with the warrior one, that inner rotation of inner thighs. Here, hips are entirely square to the front of the room, or to the front of the mat. And generally, we do want a little bit wider stance this way of the feet. So a cue that you'll sometimes hear is as though you're on railroad tracks. You might be able to see it better here. So rather than everything lined up and creating kind of a wobbling effect or lack of balance, we want to create a little bit more balance by separating the feet this way, about hip width apart. So those are the general differences between warrior one, warrior two, and our high crescent lunge. Again, notice for yourself what you're feeling in the body and play around with it, make adjustments. Not always necessary to listen to the cues that are being said in class. Certainly hear the teacher, make adjustments as make the modifications as suggested if you need those, but also listen to your own body and what it's telling you in the moment. One thing, for example, is with high crescent lunge. This can be a difficult place. For a while, when I first came to that pose, I had to bring a knee down. So know that you do have some modifications for those more challenging areas to be. So thank you as always for watching and for listening. We'll see you back here tomorrow on day 7 of our Yoga Story Daily Dose of Yoga. Peace.